Hello, thank you for joining us today. My name is Carlene.
And I'm Jay. We are also known as Jaylene.
On this channel, we recap and provide our reviews for Married at First Sight.
Today we'll be reviewing episode 8 entitled Party Ways.
If you haven't already, please subscribe and click the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. This is the housewarming party episode. Today we're starting off with Lindsey and Miguel. Miguel was playing ping pong with his friend Steve. Miguel feels Lindsey is a great wife and he knows how to relationship well. Let's stop here. What does that even mean? If he knew how to relationship well, why did he need help from the experts? Miguel feels secure because there is a commitment and Lindsey wants this. Miguel, do you want the same thing as Lindsey? Steve asked Miguel, is Lindsey checking his boxes? Among the 3 things he was expecting, he says Lindsey is kind, agreeable, open-minded, cute, cleans and cooks, and she is his oasis in a desert.
I didn't understand the oasis and the desert thing. I'm just thinking he said that because he finally got some.
I like how he was saying kind things about his wife.
Finally, not to her face though.
Their housewarming party theme is contestants on a game show. Lindsey is dressed as a pizza and Miguel is dressed as a pimp.
I was thinking when I saw her dressed as a pizza, I was like, is she trying to tell Miguel something about what to do as her as a pizza?
I don't know, but after playing games, Lindsey and Miguel went with each other's friends separately. Miguel tells Lindsey's friends that they know each other well. Lindsey tells Miguel's friends that she cannot be on his healthcare insurance unless she takes his last name. So one of his friends tried to show Lindsey the realistic side of how they just met and are getting to know each other. But Lindsey put it back on them and was like she needs to be reassured before taking his last name. I believe both parties could argue their sides and would have a lot of great points, but how can they come to a compromise?
I see where they both are coming from. Lindsey, since I don't know if she has a job as a full-time employee with no benefits or she's a contractor and she doesn't have any benefits, because she did say that she likes to take time off from work and then go to work when she wants. But for Miguel, when he says I'm going to end this for 8 weeks, I don't understand that. Is he contradicting himself, saying he wants it to work but don't want it to work, but in 8 weeks I'll see how I feel, but I want you to take my last name anyway? I didn't understand that at all. But for the insurance part, I can understand where she's coming from, where if you're on someone else's plan, it's a lot cheaper than you getting it by yourself, because out here in California it can be between $300 plus, maybe up to $800-900 for insurance. But if you do someone's job, it's probably like $200 maybe for a spouse, something like that.
After the party, Lindsey and Miguel continue with the topic and other things she needs, like a joint bank account. This girl has many degrees, and she just doesn't want to go around changing her name. Lindsey doesn't feel secure. After Lindsey curses Miguel out, he was like, I don't like this version of you. Later on, Lindsey apologizes for being defensive. She was like, here's a taste of how far I can go. Miguel wasn't liking Lindsey's true self, or at least how she reacts to disagreements. Weeks before Miguel was looking for an out, it was like he was saying, like you said before, I'm in this for 8 weeks and then I'm going to see, but in the meantime, just take my last name.
I didn't understand how it's okay for him to say what he wants, when he wants, and how he wants, but when she vocalizes how she feels and what she wants, he doesn't like it. Yes, she's a little bit aggressive, but I do like how is saying what she wants instead of just being passive aggressive like she was prior to.
Yeah, she's finally standing up for herself. Then in the end, Miguel agreed to put her on his insurance because he likes the marriage. Now on to Kristen and Mitch. So Kristen meets with her friend Joanna for what looks like brunch. She tried explaining their differences in clutter. Mitch likes to bring home items, and Joanna was like, "Is he a hoarder?" And Kristen paused. "Can you say yes?" She doesn't want to tell Mitch about her previous engagement because guys ran when she did in the past, but her friend encouraged her to. Kristen listened to her friend and shared the story with Mitch. Mitch didn't know that Kristen's ex-boyfriend was actually her fiance. Mitch had a confused look on his face, almost like he just got hit in the face.
I had a confused look on my face when her friend was saying, "Did you tell him your secret?" I'm like, there's more to that story than we found out during the matchmaking special. So when she told Mitch and his reaction, I was like, I don't understand why the other boyfriends had a negative reaction to it when it was not her fault. But other than that, I thought he took it well.
Yeah, when Kristen tells the story, she needs to lead with, "And I couldn't get my money back." I mean, that's how she needs to start this story. So when she says it, she doesn't look crazy, saying that her and her side of the family went without the groom and they had a good time. So Mitch thought it was weird that she would go without a groom. He held her hand and apologized for what happened to her. Mitch reassured Kristen that he is not like her previous fiance and he wouldn't do that to her. Kristen thought he was sweet and trusts him.
Yeah, unlike the other boyfriend who was homeless and didn't have a job, Mitch is just dirty and has a job. So, yeah. But only thing that did wrong in that whole part and says that's crazy or that didn't make any sense. And she gave him that side eye like, "Don't you ever say something that stupid to me again." Other than that, I thought he took it well. But, yeah, I wish she would lead off with saying, "I couldn't get my money back." And then, but I wonder how she told that story to the ex-boyfriends. Was it in the same exact manner? Or she ended up saying, "I couldn't get my money back, so therefore I did this, that, and the other."
Yeah, I thought that he took it well too, because you know how he can get in his head. But he probably was like, "No, I have to, not overreact," because if he overreact, she wouldn't tell him anything else.
Well, he's trying to act right because he's getting some now. So even though it's only lasted like 2 pumps or 2 seconds or whatever the case may be, he ain't trying to mess that up.
Their housewarming party theme was futuristic. I thought I was watching Out of This World, but for some strange reason, it looked fun. Kristen and Mitch met separately with their own friends. We really see how Mitch feels about Kristen's dog, Luna. He is unable to sleep and tells his friends that she is a useless creature that snores loudly.
Damn!
Wow, that's harsh. We all know how honest Mitch is, and since he hasn't been sleeping, he's just mean.
That was uncalled for with his dirty feet.
Kristen takes her friends to the top floor and tells them how she couldn't do what she wanted to do for the party. For example, instead of getting the shot glasses she wanted, she had to purchase expensive, reusable shot glasses. Kristen's friend was like, "Mitch needs to make compromises and basically live like a normal person."
Mitch does need to make compromises. That's why he's been single. I think they said 8 years or something like that. I thought it was 2, but apparently it's been 8 years. You can see why he's been single for so long. I don't understand why everything needs to be either recyclable, reusable. Let Kristen do something that she wants to do. Y'all need to go 50-50 about this, that, and the other. I don't like how it seems like he's trying to control her doing everything he wants to do, but not letting her do anything that she wants to do.
Yes, he does need to compromise more. And I know it's more difficult on his part with him being older and him being alone, for this amount of time. So he probably just thinks, "Oh, my way is the right way."
Having a dirty stove, bathtub, and feet is not the right way.
Kristen feels Mitch has a lot of great qualities, but she wants them to make it work because they are married. Kristen says, "I want him to be in this for a lifetime." Now we have Alexis and Justin. So Alexis met with her sister over Zoom and told her how her nephew Newton was attacked. Then she told her about the honeymoon and how they said, I love you. Her sister shared how saying I love you is like opening up Pandora's box. Alexis has reservations with Justin's lying. I mean, him talking vaguely. However, she admits to being in her head and has commitment issues.
The one thing that Justin said that he didn't, or the dog, or Alexis's dog didn't eat for 2 days, but on after party he said that he ate like half a bowl. So I'm confused myself, like, which one is it? Did he not eat at all, or he ate half a bowl for 2 days? I'm confused.
Yeah, we saw the couple arguing off the camera about Newton's health. Apparently, he hasn't been eating and there was blood in his stool. But Justin did not communicate that to Alexis. She equates his vagueness as manipulation. And with her being in her head, you can only imagine what she's been thinking. The argument continues as they are in the candy store preparing for their housewarming party. You can tell that they didn't even want to be there. You know, this reminds me of Michaela and Zach when she didn't want to come to the housewarming party, but they made her come anyway.
Yeah, Justin, he showed up late to the candy store. Initially, he wasn't going to show up to begin with just because of all the back and forth going on between those two at the apartment about the dog situation.
Justin expressed to Alexis how he doesn't understand what I'm done means. She was like, you don't even listen to me when I talk, and said she was done with the conversation because they keep saying the same thing over and over again. At that point, you could see Justin shutting down, and he was like, I won't say anything. Alexis was like, that's what married people do? Here, Alexis is getting what she asked for. Remember on the honeymoon when she said she doesn't know why people say that marriage is so hard? Well, here's her example. Justin is now doing the opposite of what his wife is asking. She asked him to overshare, and now he's not going to say anything. Then he said something so stupid, I think you get aroused when we argue. This offended Alexis to the point that she asked to be unmiked.
When she says I'm done, I wonder if she actually really explained it to him what that meant initially when she said it. Because if she said it initially before and then all he hears is I'm done, and he's thinking, oh, the relationship is over, the marriage is over. But if she explained it to him before that, when I say I'm done, I'm just meaning I'm done with the conversation. But if she didn't explicitly say that to him, I can understand where he's coming from. But if he's just in his head about it, and he's too worried about that he messed up and the marriage is over with.
I think she probably explained it, maybe more than once. But like you're saying, all he hears is I'm done with the relationship. But she's just done with the conversation. Because you can see they just kept going back and forth over and over and over again.
Yeah, it just reminded me of the previous seasons when people kept saying I'm done, but they weren't done, which made no sense to me.
Their housewarming party theme was a 90s party. Alexis tells everyone she is frustrated with Justin's lying and how they are currently having a tiff. Their friends didn't seem surprised that a married couple was having a tiff. Justin feels Alexis drills him and he doesn't have time to process. Then Alexis proceeded to drill him as he was making that point.
Yeah, he's not being drilled in the right way that he was hoping for.
Alexis met with Justin's friends outside. She shared her concerns about Justin not being truthful about his dog Maya when she asked. Justin's male friend spoke for all males and was like, guys don't think until they're in the moment. As a male, what do you think of this justification?
He's speaking for himself. I don't understand that at all. Only thing I can think of for Justin is like he was so lovey-dovey in the beginning and so caring in the beginning. Then when one thing went wrong, he'll blame, oh, I wasn't thinking or I didn't know. No, guys think It's just that this particular situation, I don't understand where he was coming from. Is I feel if you're saying you're going to over communicate, do what you say you're going to do. That's just me.
Alexis shared how she is upset with him, but is still buying body wash because he needs it. Justin's female friend asks Alexis if she loves him. She says she loves him, but is not in love with him. It's only been 2 to 3 weeks.
I don't feel you can love someone in 2 weeks. I feel you can care for them in 2 weeks, but not love. I hate how they do that on this show where they try to pressure people to say that they love them or in love. I just can't stand it. You can care for someone or really like someone. It takes time to love someone. I say minimum maybe 6 months to feel that feeling, not 2 weeks.
Justin asks Alexis' friends how to handle her when she is upset. Her friends was like, have you asked her? Well, Justin, have you? This is tricky here because when he asked her sisters for advice, they left him hanging. And when he asked her friends, they asked him a question. But Alexis has been telling Justin what she needs. Justin is just doing it his own way. Okay, next up, Sasha and Nate. Nate met with his friend Derek, and Derek immediately asks Nate if he is opening up due to his tough exterior. He talked about Sasha going to therapy and is good with her emotions, and he wants to go to therapy to dig deeper. Then he says, happy wife, happy life, and Derek was like, no, don't be a yes man, but advise him to go in all the way. Is Nate trying to be remembered for his sayings? I think Nate is insecure with Sasha going to therapy and being able to express her emotions. Also, we know the differences in age between them, and Nate isn't on her level. Their housewarming party theme was 70s disco party. I like the Polaroid pictures. I really believe that they've known each other for decades. Nate talks to Sasha's friend and sister about her wanting children. Nate's like, I've never seen her with kids, and how she doesn't want to have a dog. Nate, we've never seen you with kids either. The only argument Nate really has is that Sasha is a workaholic.
I won't buy that part because once someone has kids, especially women, they will adjust and adapt to whatever environment that they're in. So I don't believe that as a crutch for him. He's just trying to say that because he's not ready to have kids or he doesn't want to have kids with her.
Sasha talks to Nate's friends about wanting kids soon, and they talked about how she needs to be patient because his mother wasn't in the picture. Also, she doesn't understand why he doesn't have emotions on certain topics. So basically, she has to baby Nate and tiptoe around certain topics. Sasha's clock is ticking, and she is ready to move forward with her life.
That's why I felt they shouldn't have cast or matched her with someone who's so much younger than her just for this purpose right here.
Now we have Morgan and Ben. So Morgan was on Zoom with her friend Carl. She believes her red flags are surface level, like finances, but not her personality. Morgan still doesn't trust Ben. She likes her male friend's perspective and he told her to put her walls down and open up. Morgan didn't like that advice.
I agree. I think she's reverting back to her old dating ways instead of being open-minded. Yes, he made a mistake. He apologized. Stop bringing it up. Just get past it. We're all getting sick of it.
Their housewarming party theme was tacos and tequilas. You can see Morgan just messing with Ben. He's trying not to put their business out there about the honeymoon, but she was like, just be honest. We see how confused Ben is. He owned up to his mistake and is learning how to keep everything in-house. But Morgan is like, no, tell the world how you hurt me. Morgan needs to notice Ben's actions if she wants this marriage to work.
So Morgan was talking to Ben's friend, and she kept saying, once my trust is broken, it's over, blah, blah, blah. But she's telling Pastor Cal one thing, that, okay, he apologized, I'm over it, blah, blah, blah. But we fast forward now and every other time, and she's saying that I don't trust him, blah, blah, blah. He did this, he did that. So I'm like, are you ever going to let this go? Because if you don't let this go, this marriage is not going to work. And if you do this in this type of relationship, you've done it in other relationships, and that means you can't move past anything. If you're in a marriage, intentionally or unintentionally, your spouse is going to hurt you. So you got to find a way to get past that and make it work if you care for them enough.
Ben meets with Morgan's friend, the one that Morgan beat up. He tells her how he has apologized to Morgan and all her family. He even spent money buying gifts to show Morgan how remorseful he is. You know how cheap Ben is? Her friend told him to stop apologizing to her because it won't mean anything. Ben forgives quickly, but Morgan cannot. Now we have the guys and the girls getting together. So Kristen is happy to share how her marriage has improved since the last time the girls got together. She says the marriage now is better than the one she had in Mexico. And Mitch says that they are acting like a married couple who's been married for over 40 years. Is that a compliment or an insult? He likes that Kristen likes him even though he is weird. Then Mitch brought up Kristen's dog and calls her a monkey wrench because she snores. Both groups were happy that Mitch and Kristen went all the way. The way Kristen explains it is like they're doing that every waking moment. Mitch is happy he came clean with Kristen about how he was feeling initially, and that made him comfortable. Then in Mitch's confessional, he was laughing at Nate because he went all the way with his wife while Nate is over there having appetizers and dessert.
Mitch can't be laughing that he went all the way. He went all the way for 2 seconds. So who's going to be happy here? Him or Kristen? Because Kristen ain't happy for these 2 seconds of sex or joy or whatever it is that Mitch want to call it.
Ben says he thinks he's allergic to cats. He keeps sneezing and coughing when he gets home and says the cat is mean to him. Ben just wants the cat to love him.
Are we sure it's the cat and not Morgan? Because ever since the honeymoon, and she's been in her feelings, I'm sure he don't want to go home. So he's allergic to Morgan and what she gonna say or not do to him, even though he's trying to get it in.
Alexis told the girls how Justin's dog attacked her dog. Sasha talked about when she shares, she might not think of all the things that she wants to say. So Sasha identifies with Justin and tells Alexis to be patient with Justin and his sharing. Is she taking her own advice? Because it didn't seem like that. She was patient in the other episode when she was grilling Nate. Lindy shared how she asked to be on Miguel's insurance, and he asked her about taking his last name. In Kristen's confessional, she applauded Miguel and says she would have done the same thing. Miguel says how he thinks about how he wants to hurt Lindy. Think through his thoughts. But Lindy basically says how she's feeling aloud, and he is not a fan of her negativity. Lindy wants to be secure before changing her last name, and Miguel wants to know that they are the right people for each other.
All right, so if they want to come to a compromise and he put her on the insurance, she'll take his last name. If they get divorced, it can take up to 36 months for her to come off his insurance if they get divorced. Because I wasn't sure until I looked it up. But worst case scenario, she'll be on there for a little bit and then he can get rid of her. But it's not like he ain't got the money to take care of it. Or she can pay him the little piece of money to keep her on the insurance until the divorce is finalized and she comes off. It's the only thing I can think of.
Morgan continues to talk about Ben's big mistake and how she has her walls up. However, she loves doing things with him, and Lindy was loving their friendship and hopes she gives Ben grace. Then Mitch and Miguel encourage Ben to be affectionate with his wife.
That's the smartest thing Mitch had to say all season. All season. I still try to cop a feel. I'm not even in trouble.
The girls gave advice to Morgan on how to get over it, like going on a date. Morgan knows that they were put together for a reason, and she needs to explore that. That's the most sense she has made all this episode. I know she see Ben trying, and she has to give him grace, like Lindy said. Well, that's all we have for episode 8. But here's a question. Which housewarming party would you like to attend? And what are your thoughts on episode 8? We'd love to hear from you. Put your answers in the comments.